A janitor is having a good time dancing in the corridor of a lab. He then goes on trying to annoy one of the scientists who's totally concentrated on his work. The scientists soon leave the room to get something to eat, and the janitor goes on to clean inside the lab, where he sees a man lying on a bed whose body is covered with veins. The janitor checks closely the bracelet on the man's hand, who suddenly moves, freaking out the janitor, who falls on the monitors that starts showing a flat line. The janitor then decides to give the man CPR. His hands sink inside the man's chest. The man then turns out to be a zombie, opens his eyes and goes on attacking the janitor, throwing him around the lab while the scientist is still trying to make the vending machine work. The janitor, who turned into a zombie, goes on attacking the scientist, setting into motion the zombie pandemic. Sometimes later, we see a group of scouts composed of the scouts leader Rogers and the three members Ben, Carter and Augie. After playing a recruitment video at school, they fail to get anyone to join, as everyone sees them as losers. Rogers then tells them that they will hold a celebration at the camp for Augie, who is receiving the Condor Scouting badge. We later understand that Ben and Carter are only doing it for the sake of their friend Augie, but this has reduced all their chances to get girls to zero. As the two argue with each other, they crash into a deer, busting one of their tires. As for the deer, it was dead and done. While the two change the tire, a jeep stops by. On board, Kendall, Carter's older sister, and her boyfriend Jeff, along with Chloe. Ben, who has a crush on the girl, is petrified as the girl talks about how she sees him as a little brother. While the two talk, Ben is shocked when he turns and finds the corpse of the creature was missing, and finds tracks leading to the forest. Before leaving, Jeff invites the two to a party happening tonight, but the two must show up to Augie's ceremony at the camp. Carter says they could sneak out when Augie is asleep, and after some convincing, Ben accepts. The two are suddenly interrupted by the old Miss Fielder, who complains to Carter about the garbage his father left on her property. The woman leaves mad, and Ben is shocked at how many cats she had. In the woods, Roger is on his way to the camp when he comes across an ID tag belonging to the scientist from before, named Peter. The man then hears rustling coming from a bush. He checks and is under attack by the deer from before that was now a zombie. The man stabs the creature and kills it. He is then attacked and bitten by Peter, who is a zombie too. Meanwhile, the two boys head to the grocery store to buy some drinks, and since they are underage, Carter asks a crazy hobo to do it for them. While the two are distracted checking a girl named Denise, the hobo guy goes around buying random things. Carter goes inside and tries to stop him. Denise, who's leaving the store, has a malfunction with her bag, but Ben helps her fix it. So to pay him back, she goes inside and buys them drinks. Then she goes to the strip club where she works. Later, the two meet up with Augie at the campsite, and Ben finds it strange that Roger is late. Augie thinks it has to be a test, and the three starts setting up the tents and having fun. At night, the three shares a moment around the campfire. Then later, Ben and Carter sneak out of the camping site. Meanwhile, at an abandoned factory, the party has started. Kendall searches for Carter, but she can't find him, while Jeff and Chloe share a suspicious look. On their way, the two boys find Roger's knife. Ben is worried since the man would never leave his lucky knife behind. Ben then notices that his footprints looked strange, as if the man was limping. After the two get in the car, they are found by Augie, so Carter confronts him with the truth, saying they were gonna leave the scouts. The boy is heartbroken and goes back to the camp. The two then proceed to the party location. As they cross the town, they are shocked to see it deserted. Ben notices the door to the grocery store was shattered. Carter then points out that the strip club was unguarded and takes the chance to sneak in, followed by Ben. While Carter looks for the ATM machine, Ben takes a seat and is approached by a stripper, who Ben can't see was actually a zombie. Soon Carter joins him, and the stripper dances upside down on the pole and rips its neck open as its blood gushes out on the boys, who freak out. Soon the bouncer appears as a zombie and follows Ben to the bathroom, where he hides inside a stall while Carter fights with the zombie stripper and uses a broken bottle to kill it. Meanwhile, Ben is found and is about to be attacked by the zombie bouncer when its head suddenly gets blown up by Denise. As they gather with Carter, the boy calls Denise a stripper, and she clarifies that she was actually a waitress at the club. The trio realizes that they are facing a zombie apocalypse and quickly run to the car and try to escape, but the car loses a tire. They step out and starts putting it back on, while Denise fights off the zombie horde. Once done, the trio drives away immediately. Augie at the time goes to check on Rogers at his house. After finding no one inside, he leaves a message to the man. The boy's stomach hurts and he heads to the bathroom, where he is almost attacked by zombie Rogers looming outside the house. Back in the living room, Augie sees Rogers and soon realizes something was wrong. The boy is under attack and fights for his life. The boy then grabs a spray can and uses a lighter to torch the zombie and then smacks it with the paddle. He then ties it up to a chair and leave. At that time, Ben and the others reach the police station, where they found a message saying that the evacuation had already taken place and all buses had left. Soon they are attacked by a horde of zombies and quickly go inside the station and block the door. Inside, a zombie policeman starts shooting around as they avoid it. Carter and Ben manage to neutralize it, but the horde of zombies breaks through the door and gets inside and starts chasing them around the building. The trio had no choice but to lock themselves inside a cell. After the horde has calmed down, Ben brings up Augie, hoping he was okay, and explains to Denise that he was their friend and how their friendship had ended. Denise tells them that chasing party life leads to nothing, setting herself as an example, but the conversation quickly turns into a quarrel between Carter and her before Ben steps in. After complimenting him for his craftsmanship, the boy returns the compliment to her for her skill with the gun. Soon the zombies starts leaving as they hear a song being blasted outside from a car, and the trio tries to get the key to the cell. Outside the station, it turns out that Augie was the one who turned the music on. The boy makes noise by accident and all zombies come after him. Inside the cell, Ben manages to snatch the key and is about to drag it to him when Augie arrives and accidentally kicks it inside the drain hole. Augie uses his pocket knife to open the lock and is almost attacked by a zombie, but Ben stabs it with a broomstick. The group then escapes and leaves the station when a female zombie cop's shirt gets busted open when it gets caught in the gate, revealing her melons, leaving Carter frozen. After walking for a while, they came across an abandoned truck, but the zombie driver shows up. Augie tries to communicate with it using animal noises, which was working. Soon, the boy notices the Britney Spears t-shirt he was wearing and starts singing to him, "Hit me baby one more time." Carter joins Augie as the zombie starts singing along with them, but just as they hit the chorus, the zombie receives a bullet in the head from an army guy named Reeves. The man takes them with his car and tells them that most of the town people were evacuated. Ben then asks if they evacuated those at the party, but Reeves seems to be clueless. After arriving at the party's location, they find no one and Carter realizes he was given the wrong address by Jeff. Augie says it was karma and Carter unleashes his frustration on him, saying he was the cause of them being seen as losers and says that Ben thinks the same. Augie gets mad and reveals how Ben had a crush on Kendall and Carter gets mad at him. The trio then starts fighting as Denise makes fun of them. Soon the girl notices that Reeves was bitten and he turns into a zombie and attacks her. The boys then save her as she smashes the zombie head with the door. There was an announcement through the radio saying that the army will bombard the area in 2 hours. Carter has an idea and says that they should find his sister's diary, saying she must have written the party location in it. The group then immediately drove to Carter's house. They sneak inside and start searching Kendall's room, while zombie Miss Fielder notices them and follows them inside the house. Ben says he heard something, so Carter and Augie go to check, leaving Denise alone with Ben. The girl brings up Kendall, asking him how he didn't confess to her. The girl teaches him to be more assertive by kissing him. The two fail to notice the zombie jumping outside on the trampoline. Downstairs, Carter confesses that it was his idea to sneak out to the party, but they are interrupted by zombie Miss Fielder, who attacks Carter, and the noise alerts the other zombies. Carter and Augie fight for their life, and after Augie kills the other zombie, he helps Carter and they decapitate zombie Miss Fielder. Ben and Denise arrives as the zombies flood the house. They quickly go back upstairs and use the trampoline outside to escape the house. Ben, who was the last has to leave grabs Kendall's diary, but the trampoline was full of zombies, so he had to grab a zombie wiener to not fall down. Denise quickly baits the zombie away from the trampoline, and Ben finally is able to escape. They all get to Miss Fielder's house. Carter says that they could use the woman's car to escape. Ben suddenly warns Augie about the zombie cat on his back that Denise hits with the frying pan. Soon they are under attack by the other zombie cats. They run to the garage and use the car to break out of the house. They then see zombie Roger standing on their way and are shocked to see the state he was in. As Augie explains he had to burn him, Ben doesn't hesitate and rams into him and drives away. Later, after they locate the party, Denise decides to go separate ways to get help. She grabs a bike lying on the road and Ben tells her she was the coolest girl he knew, and then Denise was off. Carter and Augie are scared and want to wait for Denise to get help, but Ben says it's possible she fails, and then those at the party won't make it. Then he hypes them with a speech about scouts, and the trio goes to the store to get ready as they put their skill to work to go on the rescue mission. Inside the factory, Chloe and her newly found boyfriend are having some fun when they are approached by a zombie that attacks the boy and takes his place, literally eating the girl. Kendall, who's worried about her brother, is told by Jeff that he gave them the wrong address. The girl then gets mad and slaps him. Then the two are interrupted by Chloe, who has turned into a zombie and attacks Jeff. Kendall tries to escape, but she accidentally lets in a wave of zombies that goes on attacking everyone at the party. Kendall quickly climbs a ladder to avoid them. A whistling sound resonates, attracting the attention of the zombies, and we see the scouts have arrived and they begin their zombie extermination using various crafted weapons. Carter has no choice but to kill Chloe, whom he had a crush on, and Ben faces zombie Jeff and gladly decapitates its head. The group then is surrounded by the zombies. Kendall screams for Ben to help her. The boy doesn't hesitate and rush to save her, but his weapon has a malfunction. He is then attacked by a zombie and is saved by Carter. After saving Kendall, the group sends her out with the survivors before locking the door and fighting the zombies. They are overpowered and have no choice but to escape to an upper floor and lock the door behind them. Seeing no way out, Augie proposes they use a bomb he crafted to get rid of the zombie and avoid turning into one of them. Before lighting up the bomb, Ben and Carter apologize to Augie for everything they have done, and Ben says that he actually loved being a scout and wanted to quit just because of other people's opinion. The speech of Ben lifts up the group's spirit, but the zombies are about to get in, so they go back to try lighting the bomb, but the lighter won't work, and Augie uses Scout's tool instead. Suddenly, Denise appears from the trash disposal hall. Carter goes on to jump first and escapes, while Ben waits for Augie until he succeeds in lighting the bomb just as the zombies flood the place. Ben and Augie escape while the building explodes. The group is glad they made it and soon are approached by zombie Roger. As it slowly approaches, they start looking around for something to kill it with. Suddenly, a grenade lands near its leg and explodes it into pieces. The group is then glad to see the military had arrived. Next day, after being evacuated, Ben thanks Denise and says that she is now part of the team. The girl then pushes him to go talk to Kendall, and the boy goes on kissing the girl without hesitation. And while Augie is happy for Ben, Carter is mad since that was his sister, promising he will go get Ben's mom. And with that, we reach the end of the movie. Thanks for watching, subscribe and leave a like, and see you guys next time. Bye bye.